Okay, we are wrapping up day 2 of the Arnold 2014 Expo, and I am here in the GenXlabs booth with none other than our famous Gen X athlete, Melissia Moen, who competed in finals at the Arnold in her second show ever. But she has a pretty awesome story to tell about it. Melissia, what in the heck happened with this competition?
Well, there was a little bit of a mishap on Thursday night when we had the pre-quals, and they called out the wrong list of the class, so I actually left without finding out that I was qualified when I thought I wasn't, because they didn't call out my number. So I just left, and I left my pin with my number on it there, and one of the girls in my class found it, and I ran into her the next day at the food court at the expo, and she told me that I was in fact qualified and I needed to be here at 8 o'clock in the morning to check in. So I had no idea, and it was quite the shock and surprise and fate, if you ask me.
I think definitely, because what are the chances of that happening, that you'd actually run into someone in the sea of like 175,000 people here?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many people here. Even if you know 100 people, you wouldn't even run into one, you know, odds are. So the fact that I ran it, and you know what's even funnier? I ran into her again today in the food court, not even kidding.
Okay, now what's going on with that food court? There's a, was it by the Mexican food again?
I swear, no joke. And she's like, oh, she gave me her phone number, and you know.
Let's get together for some Mexican food after the expo.
This is just getting weird, so we need to like hook up or something, because you know. Awesome.
So speaking of Mexican food, I imagine having felt like you did not qualify for finals, you probably went out and had a pretty fabulous cheat meal, and then you find out you qualified. What was going on with that?
Well, of course, you know, when you think that you don't have to compete the next day and you've been on a strict diet for ever, you decide, you know, have a few indulgences, which I did, and luckily I had an entire day to dry back out, so I felt like I looked pretty good for competition. I was really surprised that I did as well as I did as far as getting my body back into form, if you will. So
I don't think it ever takes you too long to get your body back in the form. Miss training in the gym 7 days a week and never deviating from her diet, so one peanut butter pancake doesn't kill anybody.
Well, there was a little bit more than that, but that's okay.
Okay, then we want to hear the real story, Melissia Moen. What else besides the peanut butter pancakes were you eating that day?
Pretty much anything that contained salt, fat, and sugar was, nothing was off limits.
If we were all like Melissia Moen, we could eat peanut butter pancakes and lots of fat and sugar and still compete in the Arnold and look as awesome as you.
Well, I figured I wanted to give the judges a variety. I was super hard and shredded when I qualified, and then I was a little bit smoother and rounder, so I figured if I did a little bit of both, it might get me in, but
I can see the best of both worlds, you know. So all joking aside, do you feel like you came in a little bit differently for finals today?
A little bit fuller, but I actually liked the way I looked, and I think it's a little bit more normal to be fuller like I was today. Sometimes the judges don't like the hard shredded look when it comes to figure. That's leaning a little bit more towards physique, so I was actually really pleased.
See, it's like we were saying, everything happens for a reason. Those peanut butter pancakes were meant to be. So what are you going to do now? You've competed in finals in the Arnold. Second show again, by the way. Who does that? So how do you top it?
Well, I don't know if you can top it. This is a dream come true for me, and I'm still reeling and everything, and everybody that I've met and all the things that I've done and seen. It's just been, I just have to pinch myself all the time, so I just feel really blessed to actually have a chance to do this, and it's just gonna, you know, just gonna keep on going and competing for the rest of the year. I've got a couple more competitions, so it's gonna be a rough year as far as training and dieting, but it's what I love to do, so it's gonna be a blast.
There have been a lot of people stopping by because Melissia draws a crowd with these beautiful muscles, and she's like a beautiful bronze goddess here. So we need to know where people can find you if they want to look you up and see all of your beautiful photo shoot pictures with Rob Sims.
Well, I'm on Facebook, and you can always find me through my sponsor, GenXlabs, and on Instagram under Melissia Moen. I try to keep it simple so people can find me. There's not too many Melissia Moens out there, so.
Okay, so there's no stage name. It's keeping it real, Melissia Moen, M-O-E-N, on Facebook. Instagram, are you on Twitter too?
I don't tweet. That's a little bit much for me. Got to draw the line somewhere.
Muscly girls don't tweet. You heard it here. So check out Melissia Moen. and those big muscles of her, GenXlabs.net. You can find her there as well, and you can find all of GenXlabs' fabulous products at lowcostvitamins.net, massforlife.com, and bodyandfitness.com. Melissa, you are rocking it. We love you, and we are signing out with GenXlabs, day 2 of the Arnold 2014